our vice president saying the F word on television? Yeah, did you hear about Rahm Emanuel saying the F word? I don't respect profanity or people who use it. And I'd just like to say, Mr. Joe Biden, this is a big effing deal, and the F stands for freedom! Yeah, we're in a war. You know, Ephesians 6:12, we're in a spiritual battle, but it's so obvious now in our government. We're in a battle. It's tyranny versus liberty, and the people who are fighting for tyranny use lies, profanity, they're tax cheats. Why is Rangel and Geithner still in there? They should be in jail. I would be in jail if I was a tax cheat. They lie, they bribe, they broke the Constitution. They're criminals, and we've got to vote them out. But that's what they use in the battle. We use wisdom and love and truth. Well, I wrote a song, and I like to perform it for you. Thank you. Basically, I said to my brother, I go, what should I talk about? He goes, well, tell him what communism means to you. I go, okay. Well, I grew up in Miami, and it became Cuba during my childhood. Because all the Cubans were risking their lives on rafts coming to America for freedom. And I was dating a boy named Angel Otero when I was 15, and he was from Cuba, and I said, where's your father? And he said, he's in jail in Cuba. I said, why? And he said, because he resisted communism. And then I asked my neighbor, I said, you know, I don't think this generation understands what communism is. I don't think they ever had a civics course. But I did, and I read George Orwell's book, 1984, and I'm watching it come true. Why doesn't some school make their kids read that right now? Our public schools brainwashed our kids to become atheists, evolutionists, and communists, I guess, right? I was in a private Christian school because kids were shooting each other in the public school. This is in '75. So I actually learned Bible verses, and our class verse was 2 Chronicles 7:14. If my people who are called by my name will humble themselves and pray, and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then will I hear from heaven and will forgive their sin and will heal their land. Anyway, back to my story. So I'm in Miami, and I asked my neighbor, I said, what's it like to grow up in a communist country? She said, well, in kindergarten, they tell the little kids to bow their heads and pray and ask God for candy. And when the little kids open their eyes, there's no candy there. And then they tell them to bow their heads and pray to Castro for candy. And when they open their eyes, there's candy there. That's what communism is. And the new word for it is progressive. How many people are getting educated by Glenn Beck? Required, you know, high school and college course, you know? He's telling the truth, and he has facts. And, anyway. Yeah, Glenn Beck and Hannity for president. And Sarah Palin, she could do Rahm Emanuel's job. That guy looks like a liberal. He's not smiling at all. We'll pray for you. It seems these days I'm in a haze, and I can't concentrate on things, can't eat or sleep, feel incomplete, kinda scared and creepy. I look over my shoulder lots and shudder when I watch TV. I bite my nails and cuticles and watch my words very carefully. Flag at whitehouse.gov. Did you hear about that? No. Oh, see, these things. If you don't watch TV, I'm out of work, so I watch TV all day. Fox News, the only channel. I'm telling you, this thing came out about 6 months ago, and they said, turn in your friends and neighbors papers if they don't agree with Obamacare. Turn them in to the government. It was called flag@whitehouse.gov. I turned myself in twice. And I am so angry. That's communism. We're Americans. We're allowed to disagree with you, Mr. President. I watch my words very carefully. I bite my lip a lot and fidget with the buttons on my blouse. Why? Because there's a communist living in the White House. Why aren't people shocked or something? Why aren't people up in arms? Does anyone read history or see red flags or hear alarms? The streets are filled with deaf and dumb as I squeak like a mouse. There's a communist living in the White House. My husband really misses me. My parents think I've gone crazy. Only Glenn Beck understands me, and of course Sean Hannity and Huckabee. But you know, besides those three and the sweet people who drink the tea, there is no one else who can see the communists living in the White House. Now you may say, do I have any facts to support my supposition? Well, funny you should ask. Let's see, I think his mother was a Marxist. He had a Marxist mentor in his childhood. I read that. I think his father was, well, I know his father was a Muslim. I know his stepfather and his brother were a Muslim. But, you know, let's get back to Marxism. He had Marxist, quote-unquote, professors. He taught us a course on Saul Alinsky. When he was on the campaign trail, he talked to Joe the plumber and accidentally said, "Spread the wealth." That's a direct quote from the Communist Manifesto written by Karl Marx. Then he went to a church for 20 years where Jeremiah Wright was the pastor, and he did not teach Christianity. He taught black liberation theology, which is Marxism. And then, let's see, he appointed Van Jones as his green job czar. Wow, do you think a capitalist president would appoint a communist for an advisor? I don't think so. Then as soon as he became president, he took over the real estate, the cars, the banks, the health care, and now he's working on taking the energy with cap and trade. And then, you know what he's going to try to do? Take conservative and Christian talk radio off the airwaves with the fairness doctrine. We're stopping this Congress, and we're stopping this communist president! Maybe I have lost my mind or have been drugged by some narcotic. Maybe I'm in a movie called 1984, or I'm just idiotic. If I'm in a dream fast asleep, I think I will just try to keep my eyes shut till this goes away and I awake to a happier day when my ukulele does not play this song of dire distress and dismay. This song called "There's a Communist Living in the White House." There's a communist living in the White House. Everybody! There's a communist living in the White House! What are we going to do about it? We're going to vote them all out in 2010 November. And I think we should impeach the president. Yeah, whether he has a birth certificate or not, he's not an American.